George.
I'm watching my phone. That's Grinny's trick, right?
Yeah.
Look at Steve. He's in his underwear.
Yeah,
Wait, hold on.
7 people watching it, looks like.
I'm in shorts. It was H-mid today.
It was. It's been burning
It still
hot in my
didn't start
house.
yet? It's still
No,
didn't
it's
start?
on. It's on.
Wow. Steve, what are you wearing? You wearing boxer shorts for this?
I'm wearing the Zoom call outfit, like
He's flapping in the
K-Sound
breeze.
shirt on top.
Oh my
butt
God!
ass naked on the bottom.
What's up, everybody? We got one watcher. Woohoo!
I think we got more than one.
Georgie Thompson in the house.
Is it only one?
Yeah, we're doing a little. No, 6. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
We're doing a little late night sound shop here today. We got Steve. What are you drinking there, Steve?
Black cherry White Claw.
Ooh.
Now, this could be a total bust and no one shows up, or it could be a party. We shall see. Oh, look, Thompson, E. Look at Grooney's drinking his whiskey. What are you drinking, Grooney?
No way.
It's ginger ale, actually, but
I got my Beesky. Actually, it's a icy tea.
Scooby-Doo.
Oh, man.
Ruh-roh.
So I haven't seen these fools in a while. What have you guys been up to this week?
I'll start.
Grooney.
I've been doing a bunch of stuff, actually. Obviously, watching all the good webinars. Working on a new input list for when we get back for Gus. Yeah. And hang on.
Ooh, North Dakota, bro. Oh, we got some people in the house. Steve's having technical issues.
Now?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyways, I've been working on a new input list. I've been working on the Gus Ableton session, just trying to learn Ableton so I can be useful there and make some arrangements. And I've been learning how to tune drums. So.
Oh, look at E! Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
With the stick.
I'm tired of K's ribbon. So that's what I've been up to.
How about you, Steve? Besides sitting there in your underwear, dude, what are you doing?
Well, we just signed for a new apartment.
What?
Already?
You're leaving?
Yeah, we're moving
Why
down
you
the
bouncing?
hallway.
Oh, okay.
We're getting the bigger one.
Nice.
Oh, what happened? What? Congratulations, but why'd you do it?
It worked out in a weird way where the rent for this place was going up, and the bigger place down the hall was opening up, and that place, like with the rent change, would have been $7 more than if we stayed here. So we just said, well, if we're going to be paying it anyway, might as well go bigger. So.
Nice.
Well, with no work, how are you going to be paying him? Hopefully we do get some work, but that's what I wanted to talk about tonight. There's nothing really to talk about except that everywhere around things opening up. So I think we're going to be working quicker than you think.
Yeah,
That's
things
my
are
opinion.
opening up, but
I'm telling you, dude.
I don't know.
A local store.
See, that's everyone's being negative Nelly. You're being negative Nelly.
I don't want to be negative Nelly, but I don't think it's practical. I think a couple of the drive-in concerts are going to happen. Then people like the EPA and the environmental people are going to be like, "Hey, there's like 80 people, or like 8,000 cars gathered here with just idling, or running their ACs, or we're going to have to put out fans and stuff."
That's true.
Not 8,000 cars, but like a lot of cars just sitting together idling, stuff like that. And I just feel like that's, or like, and what do you do for audio? Do you stream that to radio and people just tune in on their radios, or do you have speakers for that? Like, what's the deal? And then like you were talking about, I'm just like, if it was like the 50s and it was a drive-in and people had convertibles and you would like sit on top of your car, like you sat on top of your seat and
Rooney.
What? And these are not my pajamas. This is just my regular old clothes. What the hell was I saying? It's not gonna be like the 50s drive-ins. So I don't know. I don't see it being a thing. And
what about
a former client of mine I know is doing one soon. And it's wrapped, so I don't know exactly how that's gonna work because you can't really jump up and down in your car. So
I don't know if it's going to take off or not.
Not interesting. I don't know. It just doesn't seem. It's cool because people are gathering and it's music, so it's good. But also, it sucks.
Yeah, it totally sucks. It's going to be. It's almost like trying too hard, But work is work. That's the way
it is.
But I'm hearing rumors that people are planning stuff, assuming things going to open. If you go to other states, they're open, man. A lot of them are. It's crazy.
Yeah, and then they all the next day have like their biggest spike in new cases as well.
Yeah.
So.
The Florida governor, he was bragging today how
My brother actually quit his job.
what?
Yeah.
No more Domino's?
No more Domino's because people were like they were coming too close and not wearing masks and gloves, and they were just being reckless.
Oh no.
Not the employees, like the customers.
Crazy.
So he's going to go back. It's like he's welcome to go back once this calms down. But he's 4 people in the house now.
But I'm getting the vibe. I don't know if this is accurate. Like everyone, the summer park shows, even the local park shows, the Jurassic Fests, all that stuff. I didn't mean to say it. You know what I meant. But the nice oldie shows that are going to happen in the park. That I love those shows, by the way. But those. I think that by like July, August, those might actually be happening with people. That's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wishful thinking. I don't know.
Yeah, what are they going to drive in their golf carts?
Not driving. I'm talking about sitting lawn chair style. Like everything's open.
So at my development, they're talking about opening the pool again, but they're not going to put out chairs, but you have to bring your own chairs, and they're not going to put out tables. So you have to like be spaced. And that's like an over 55 kind of deal. So, yeah.
There's a festival in Jersey that got moved to October.
Which one's that?
So, I don't know if I can say because I don't know if it was announced.
Oh, gotcha.
I'll tell you about it later.
Well, I know like the tickets we bought, like tickets I had purchased, those are rescheduled to like next year for the bigger bands and stuff. So
yeah, we had Billy Joel tickets for July, and I don't know if we're gonna try to get refunds on that or we're just gonna go in January. So I don't know what we're doing about that yet. But
Primus show got canceled.
Dude, everything's out.
But isn't it like a helpless feeling?
Immune to this, it's going to be Les Claypool. So I don't know why they canceled the Primus show.
See, but I'm getting antsy because I see you see everywhere like open. This state's open and 25%.
Still,
I know, but like you see it everywhere. Oh, look at this, Larry Ferguson. Here in my hometown, we have one of the local bars that is having local bands play outside a parking lot on Wednesday nights, and there are 50 people.
Are they spaced
Larry,
out,
what
though,
state
or that's in North Dakota, you said, right? So, like, there's space and...
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
see?
Takeda.
Well, that's the other thing. I'm hearing in the grapevine that there's going to be tours, possibly. This is true. I've heard that people will be touring by late summer, fall, but in rural towns. If that might be true, we'll see. I don't know.
TBD.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to survive
TBD.
until they tell us what to do.
I got a decent amount
of did you get that email from Torready at Grooney with
which one?
The face shield with the
yes, I did.
I ordered it.
Did you really?
Face shield, and it has the hole so that I can wear my hat.
That's great.
I have a face shield, but mine was too cheap. I got the cheap one because when I went food shopping a while back, I saw a guy with a face shield and I fell in love with it. I was like, that is the coolest thing ever.
That's better than masks for sure.
No, but you have to wear both. But you could sticker it up. You could sticker it up. You
got their art sound.
You look
sticker.
That's what I would do.
Hang on. Where are all my stickers? I got a Digico sticker somewhere. By the way, guys, if you want to see one of those
what's
locked
up, everybody? We're just freestyling tonight.
If you guys want to see one of those locked up with the Digico videos, but for me, petition Digico to have them hit me up about that because they're seeming to hit up everybody except me.
That's a shot.
Ooh, shots fired.
I bet.
Speak the truth.
That to you.
What's that?
I bet Avid wouldn't ghost you like that.
I'm sure they would. They've ghosted me on the support calls.
But what's up, everybody? We're just freestyling tonight. If anyone has any questions, please ask because we've got nothing. I'm being honest.
I can share what I'm doing with this input list, this new input list, if anybody wants to see that.
Yeah, we can do that.
So I'll run you through real quick. It's expanded. I'm up to like 43 now. So here I'll talk you guys through that real quick.
Poppy.
So we'll look at this real quick.
Yeah. Really quick, Nelson Poole. This is what I think. It's going to open back up. People are sick and tired, man. It's tough. I don't know.
I'm not done learning stuff yet. I kind of like all the webinars and stuff that are going on right now. It's kind of fun. I could. Yeah, I want to be back. What am I saying?
You want me to show this?
Yeah, let's just talk through this thing real quick. This is if you want to solo that so people can read it real quick. It's pop a solo on him.
Holdy.
Like that shade of blue. You can just hit solo.
Oh, I never knew that. But you can still hear us, right? So what are you showing us here?
Possibly. So this is the input list I've been working on that we're gonna roll with for 2021 or 2020. Kick in. I have the old SM91 out, M82. Snare top, M81 SH. Probably, I don't know. I haven't really decided yet what I'm gonna do going forward. Bottom Beta 181, 137 hats, 904s on the toms, SR25s on the overheads, cowbell Beta 98, the old one with the hypercardioid pattern. Bass JDI and Beta 52. Another M81 on the stage right guitar and a Royer R10, which is the cheap ribbon. It's $500. It's not really cheap, but it's the cheaper ribbon that I have scored a deal on. I won't mention. Gus guitar 906 57. Acoustic guitars J48s. Pro D2s for the keys, which I'm breaking apart now. They used to be submixed, but and let's see. Tracks I have broken out. I might actually try to take. This is one of those. What do you call them? The iConnectivity interfaces. So we're at 10 right now. I added this bass one. I'm thinking I might even break it out further and take advantage of all 12 physical outputs on that. TBD. Vocals, V7s for backgrounds, KSM8 for lead. Oops, SoundGrid opening up right now. Thanks for that, SoundGrid. Come on, leave me alone. Let's see. Oops. Talkbacks with hot shots. Stage right and stage left audience mics. Talkbacks, and that's the new input list. I'm probably gonna. You can pop us all back in now, and people can ask questions about that.
Yeah, solo. My bad, but yeah. So
Alan and Heath. By the way, I have bad memories associated with that brand in general, just from my past. So I'm just not interested in their products, and I don't particularly care for them. It's just I just have bad memories associated with them. So.
Red Rights has a company around the corner from the company that I work for in Wilmington that may rhyme with Vane Slight is doing
Slight.
I thought that was what's their name?
Electro Sound, yeah.
Yeah, they're showing all lights on their Instagram. I get jealous when I see that stuff, dude. I'm like, we should be
Which one?
Too, but
dude, they're just in their shop, like building stuff.
Here's a good question from Beeman Boy 81. How many years do you have in your profession, and how young were you when you knew you wanted to do sound? It's a good one for Grunberg.
I think I started when I was 16. 24 now. So.
But what made you wanna? Clapton.
I don't know. Just really, I like it. Love it actually, but.
What about you, Steve?
Yeah, I was about 15 or 16. And then like I started getting paid for it, when I was like 19, I think. So.
Yeah, me and Kay were in bands. That's how we got into it.
Yeah.
And like you fall into it from being in bands, and then you buy gear, and then one thing leads to another, and you're doing shows.
Got my rack of guitars over there.
I just remember always being like obsessed with it. Like when I was young, I would like build a stage out of blocks and then have my parents come in my room and turn all the lights off and like take the shade off the lamp and like point it at the stage and then
Yes.
get like the old sound system and like put it on the floor next to the stage.
Did you ever have the old painters lamps, like the squeeze clamp painters lamps, and you would like tape
Oh
like gel
yeah,
or something on it?
I had those
Yes.
and I had those. You're talking about like those garage lights?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
the
I
gray,
had
like
like
the
a few
silver
of those.
things, and you screw the light bulb into it. Yeah,
And
we had
then
that.
yeah, exactly. So then I
Did
did
you
that.
ever have like one of those block of 4 bulbs, and they were like 4 different color bulbs, and it was sound activated, and they would just scroll through the
You know
different
what I
colors?
did? I
What
did.
are
Yeah,
It
those?
was like
What the heck is
$30.
that?
I got it at Guitar Center.
yeah, I got one
Wow.
for $40. I forget who it was, like a Chinese brand one, and it just stopped working one
I
day. But
think
it was
they're
the
called
best thing
color
ever.
banks.
Yeah,
Color
that's exactly what
banks.
they
I
are.
think
They're the
that
best
might be
thing ever.
yeah. And then I started doing like local theater stuff, and then yeah, Kay found me. Kay picked me up on the side of the road.
Steve, speaking of lights, did you see that thing CJ did with like the destroying the old lights, or you weren't paying attention? He had
No,
some
I knew he was
live
doing
stream
it.
where like I don't know what it was, but they were like destroying old lights, but it was
Yeah,
for a good cause.
yeah.
I,
I knew somebody who sent in
Mhm.
some lighting.
It was
I should
funny.
get
I
a picture
was
of that
thinking,
case I sent you guys, because that was that enormous light,
oh
Mhm.
yeah,
like
what was
human-sized light. Hang on, I'm gonna get that picture up, and then we'll share my screen again.
what
If you guys
was
didn't
it?
know, you can do Instagram on your computer now.
Oh, it's funny, Steve. So I'm working on like I've been milking the SSV rewinds because that's all I have,
Yeah,
and the next one's going to be when Grooney's doing like Firefly prep and stuff like that. And Steve, what is Steve doing? Steve's doing nothing. No, I just did the one with the Vans hat, but yeah, I forgot what you're doing the next one, but it's going to be interesting.
Oh, good.
yeah.
No,
Check in.
Kay,
Look at the size of this light.
it's bulbous. Holdy.
This is enormous. It's a human-sized light.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, it's gigantic. How much is he?
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
It's not a Shogun, but it's about the same size as a Shogun.
Here's one for you, Grooney. Oh, Cal
Hey,
Conrad in the
Cal.
house.
What's up,
You
man?
should join in, dude. If you hit the link, you can just join in right now if you want to talk to Grooney. But I'm sure you're probably chilling. What's the What about Beeman Boy? What you guys think about the Presona Series 3 line?
Never seen it. Haven't
I
touched
saw that. American Musical was doing a bundle from them for like streaming audio. It's like $200, I think. It's not a bad deal. You
Did
get like an
you-
interface and a mic.
guys see, by the way, that I don't know if you guys have been watching the Wrong End of the Steak show on YouTube with Pooch and Tater, but Mike Shinoda is going to be on Tuesday from Lincoln Park.
Oh my god.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, that's big.
So
Did he mix them or
yeah, he worked for them for like 13 years or something. Yeah.
one thing? I don't
can't
know
hear
why.
Ted now.
It doesn't even
I might
how
have
hard I
to
try
come back
each
in.
time. I lost the words, but you know what I was getting at. Steve's gone. Yeah, Cal Conrad, join in. Talk to Grooney, man. We're just freestyling tonight.
Talk
It was
about the Wang.
minute. The Wang. Oh, convince him.
No,
Oh man,
can't
dude,
be convinced.
I got the best comment on like one of the old Wang videos. I gotta read it. It's hilarious. It's
Well,
so,
yes, we don't know what we're doing.
It's so trolling. I was cracking up at this comment. It was incredible. It's
While you're getting that up, I don't know about you guys, and chime in on the bottom. The thing that annoys me the most today is like after every video gets posted on any channel, there's always one guy, like the spammer that's looking for followers.
It's on every
Would you
video
like to be friends?
for no matter who it is.
Yeah.
But
Like literally every video on YouTube has that on it now.
So this is from like the Wang episode 2 video, which is like whatever. It's just you and Steve. And like this guy, the best comment ever, dude. Who gave these jackasses that require it? Wait, who gave these jackasses something that require a 3rd grade education? Download the manual! ! In caps. or go back to your foot pedals and Fender amps. This is so embarrassing. And of course they had to be Americans. Wow. Trump, COVID, now these two yahoos. OMG. Why am I laughing at these two orangutans? This is so sad.
That's
I'm
so
out of here.
funny.
It's
Which
great,
one was that
man.
on?
I was like,
Dude, a console should
Wing
not
episode-
require a manual.
no, but that's Wing episode 2. I thought that was the best comment
That's
ever.
so funny.
Like, I was like tearing laughing. I was like, who is this guy?
That's great.
Trolls rule. Trolls rule, dude.
Ugh.
But that's something Kay would get pissed at. Oh, it's Cal Conrad. Good question. I would love to hear the worst audio, video, and lighting disasters you have ever been a part of. Now, Steve, you and I recorded one. I never put it out, but you could tell that I've been too lazy, dude. I got to get back on the ball on the channel.
Well,
You could tell the one where either you
I
blinded
can't
the
hear Ted,
audience.
so I'm going for it.
Oh my God.
Grooney's
Steve,
gonna have
can
to
you
relay the message.
hear what I'm saying, Grooney?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So relay to Steve. Me and him were recording like
I don't
one
hear
of
Ted.
his
What
like,
it?
bad stories.
Oh, so Steve. What was the one you recorded with Ted before?
You could tell that story to
The-
Kale
the
about
The,
either
the
when the
disaster?
audience went blind.
When you
Yeah,
blinded the
au-
audience, he said.
or-
Or
what's the other one?
What's the other one?
There's a couple more you have, right?
There's a couple
Or
more. You
something stopped
have.
working.
I'm being a child, but
I get it.
uh,
No, that was my worst. I've never had anything go wrong other than that incident. So it was a one-off in Colorado. The house console was a Avo Tiger Touch, I believe. The house LD was conservatively, I'd say like 127 years old. And I brought a MA PC wing and so the command wing and the fader wing and the computer that was at the shop, the touchscreen computer,
Which I'm using right
that
now.
Mike
Yeah.
said he fixed. He's like, dude, I fixed it. It's fixed.
Oh, that's
So-
by the way, not to cut you off.
It
Oh,
turns
he's
on. I
talking a
do all
little
my
bit.
programming. I leave it on all day.
just
no
try restarting your
problems.
mic.
Who?
I'm talking to Ted.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No problems. It's showtime.
Who, me?
First half of the set, perfect. And then like middle of the set, the computer just shuts off. It's as if someone was holding the power button down and just shut it off, and I couldn't get it back on. It was an audience blinder look, so the blinders are just hitting people right in the eyes. There's like some front light, and that's it. It's just blinders and front lighting. And I couldn't get the computer to turn back on. The security guard was like giving me her flashlight to try and like fix it, and I'm like ripping the computer open to see
Oh,
if I
shit.
could find the power like connection, and it just. And then
Oh, we got Kale in the house. Look at him.
What's
Wow.
up? What's up? What's up?
Oh, I panicked for a second. I thought you were the lighting guy from Colorado. And
Nah,
then-
we're just
more so to wrap it up. I had to just accept the fact that I wasn't going to use the MA. I had to give the lines back to the house LD. He wasn't there because guess where he was? He was in catering. So he had to come all the way back. And then I looked at his screen and it was just a nightmare. Programming was a nightmare. I couldn't figure anything out. It was so that was it. It was a nightmare.
So
someone's having a party.
yeah.
But,
I was thinking about what mine's going to be because I've had a couple ones where I've been behind the console disasters. There's one where I wasn't, but I was adjacent and it was hilarious. Well, it wasn't. No, it sucked. It was shitty. But probably the worst one for me was in Thailand, where they have the same outlets as the US, but 220 or 220, 240,
boy.
whatever. And so we had UPSs, and the front of house guy thought he would be like real helpful and just plugged it right in and powered it on and hooked the thing right up. So we had no UPS, and then it was Bangkok, so the power went out twice during the show. Main breaker, just gone. Everything, lights out on stage, everything. No emergency lights. And if you look at the breaker, it was just like there was no box. It was just It was like they just had the bus bars with like a line of breakers down it in the open with just wires coming out of it.
Wait, so when they plugged in your UPS into their 240 power, what happened exactly?
Blue smoke. It
Oh,
went
had to.
"Beep," and blue smoke.
Why isn't there a protection for that?
UPSs, for whatever reason, very few of them are universal voltage. So I don't know why there isn't actually like a fuse that would pop before it got into the.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Right. I don't know. Maybe the fuse is the blue smoke. I don't know. It's at the Gus lockup in Long Branch, and I haven't
We
looked
should
at it since
dissect
then.
it.
We
We
should get it, and that'll be next week's episode.
Yeah.
To look at what went wrong. But that was pretty bad. So that happened twice, and because it was a LB1, actually it recovered pretty quickly. And the computer for the LB1 is a 32 gig RAM. You know, it just boots right back up. So that was pretty awful though, because the power was out for like 10 minutes each time, twice.
Oh man.
The second time it was just front of house. Or no, it was just backline power and stage rack power that went out. But I had front of house up. So yeah,
So
that was awful.
how did you get the power back in front of house?
So the guys were like just like the house guys were just like standing there like smiling and be like, I'm like, gonna fix this? And then they're like, and I'm like, dude, now, get on this.
Only Grooney.
Well, I mean, would you not? The power's out, and
the
entire building is in black.
Rudy, I can picture you saying that, like sitting on a golf cart with your Coachella pass. Just like, move.
Now, get it now.
I mean,
so
would
what
you?
was the
I mean,
point?
would
Should
you
they
not
have-
want your power at your show to be restored if the entire room was black?
Yeah.
So that one, and then I had a power supply fail one time, like right as house lights were going down because nobody asked if anyone was ready. And then they were just like, well, too bad, dude. As soon as you get audio up, and I had to like reload a corrupted file, and that sucked. But I handled it well.
See, you have like major ones.
Me?
Your stories are like major. I have, like,
or the one that was a year ago tomorrow when video. This is a video where video kept playing back with like, and it had
That's
audio, but there was like nothing there, and people just kept looking at me. I'm like, fader's up, it's off.
That's my favorite. Everybody looks at you and you're like, fader's up and it's going.
Yeah.
This is not my problem.
Yeah.
how about you, Kel?
Talk to
You
idiots.
got to have a story.
Oh man.
That was just the worst.
Oh, dude, I did one where I was running monitors. I was on an SD12, and something happened from line check to, and they're like headlining this festival. Between line check and them going on, we're like the first song. They come up, and it was the craziest thing I'd ever heard. But like, very first song comes in, clicks going. Like I'm always pretty nervous at that point because I'm like, is everything gonna work right? Is everything gonna come in? And he starts singing, and it just sounds unbelievably insane. Like nothing is showing like a clip meter or anything like that, but it sounds like he's just screaming into a tornado. Like it is the craziest thing. And I'm constantly on that console. I'm constantly on like, Sends on Fader or whatever for doing monitors. And what I found out, so I just like in the moment, I was everybody, 8 dudes on stage are looking at me like, dude, his voice is something I'm already freaking out. And he like, what happened is I couldn't figure it out until like the end of like this, I guess the halfway through the second song. But what happened is somehow it got pushed out of Sends on Fader, and his physical fader got pinned. And like, apparently somehow, I don't know how it happened. Those consoles needed to be like serviced as well, which is already a problem. But like I remember walking away from it and it was totally fine, but I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what happened.
Do you know what I do is I will have like a blank layer and I go to those. And so it's not like locked. So there's no chance for that to get stuck on lock and you don't know the password or whatever. But it's a blank, there's like 2 blank screens or 3 blank screens and the faders are down. So if you push them up, nothing happens. It's, you're on
That's
3
good.
blank layers.
Right. That was something I did later, but this was like really early on to their whole file and everything that I was still getting used to. But dude, it was like, I was already freaking out because I was the new guy and I was like, I'm going to get fucking fired. Dude, I was like, I'm getting fired. And like, they afterwards like, I'm really sorry. I figured out what happened. They're like, so we're good. I was like, yes. But in the meantime, I was like, what can I do to like make this work until I figure it out? And so I was like pulling faders down and trying to just like doing all kinds of stuff just so they can continue the show until I figured it out. And eventually I figured it out, and I was like, fader, like I was bringing up his fader out of Sends on Fader and then bringing it, just kind of trying to balance it back out. That was a bad one for me. I'll have to think about more, but I'm trying to think if
mine are so small time, like town festivals, like the backline, the snare breaks.
Oh, wait, dude, Ted,
don't have
that's
a backup.
Ted, that's
So
not even the biggest
call
audio
my
thing.
dad to go to Guitar Center to bring a snare head.
Ted, I haven't even talked about the biggest.
With a snare head.
I haven't even talked about the biggest audio failure we've been a part of.
What's that?
Pier 7. What is it? Pier 35. Pedora.
No, you can't. That's
Unfortunately, we can't tell that story. But
Ted's
off air.
Like, the dude, that like tin bucket with the pole and the one string. Ted's doing sound for that guy, and the string breaks, and Ted's like, I can't fix these.
Oh, dude.
What are some other good ones that have happened?
I'd have to think.
Well, can you still hear me, Steve, or no? Can you not hear me? Well, Arno made a good point. Kale, sorry about that, man. That was rude. No. Introduce yourself.
Oh, dude, no worries. I'm a nobody.
No, he's a legend.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah. I guess my name's Kale. Everybody knows that. It's up here on the screen, at least. Yeah, I live in Nashville. I do front of house and monitors for different people, and been around a minute, I guess. 7 or 8 years, I think I've been doing it. And yeah, I mean, I've only been touring, I guess, really like a year and a half or 2 years full time. But right now, obviously nobody's doing that, but I'm working with like a production company and stuff like that. But yeah.
Now, we were talking earlier.
Same deal.
And I think you agree with me, kind of, Kale. I think stuff might happen quicker than people think, right? Do you think so or no?
In what regard?
Jobs in general.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think everybody's going to come back real soon.
Do you think it's going to vary like across the country though? Basically, it's like not going to be New York, but like
right. Yeah, I think. Well, you start looking at, and this is just my opinion, obviously, but like you start looking at like places like Montana and Missouri, like the Missouri State Fair is already going to do like their festival. They're bringing in artists and stuff like that, and so I think that it'll be sooner than we think. Like I think a lot of people are like maybe summer of 2021. I was like, I don't know. I feel like it'll be. I don't know. I think it'll be sooner than that. It'll probably be like a late fall thing, but it still would be awkward. Like we talked about that last time, like maybe a half cap where people are doing like bike racks or something to like, but they still like you're either making money in the venue or you're not making anything
and
at all.
I feel like a half cap is weird because you're not making. You would put it. Never mind. I forgot what I was about to say. But I still think that like the Lalas are not going to come back. That's definitely out for the year.
I mean, what is that, like 70,000 people or something?
Yeah, Firefly is definitely out. I think that's already like definitely out. I don't know if like the stuff that's being rescheduled to the fall, like the festival, like Coachella and stuff. I don't know if they're going to keep. Do you think they're going to keep that rescheduled, or are they going to move that again?
I think that it probably just depends. I mean, obviously,
I think it's going to get. Like I think they're going to reevaluate probably like towards August and July.
Oh, for sure. But I think by then I feel like it'll be open back up enough. You know what I mean? Like
I don't want to rush back into it too quickly and then make it worse and then we're out for even longer.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. But I feel like the problem was that I talked about with like some other buddies was the touring scene was where like, well, everybody's going to want to do it. And so you're going to get the like, well, I'll even say like the 5,000 cap artists who are going to take the 2,000 cap rooms. And now those artists from last year who are going to take those rooms are going to go back down. And then
everything's going to shut down.
Yeah, they're going to push all the other artists of that like varying level back down. And they're like, at some point, somebody's not going to have shows to book.
Right. Somebody's just
everybody wants to
push back to the garage.
Yeah. Right. And I think that's a big deal too. But I don't know. I feel like they might. The festivals are hard because it's so wide open and there's such a less like control that you have You know what I mean? Like as opposed to like a venue where you can like a
Why do you
no,
do stuff?
elephant in the room is it's a wing. Is that what that says?
No, I wouldn't mean to cut anyone off, but that's a future preview. One of these
Gotcha.
days, we're gonna have Kale right here on my left. Talk to Grooney about the world famous Behringer wing.
Well, we
I
might
Rooney's
as
not
well
a
do
fan.
it
it's in my
today.
it's upstairs in my
Grooney is not a
studio.
fan. Grooney is not a fan.
Yeah, so we talked about this, Gurney. We've talked about you behind your back. By the way.
Yeah, I know. I remember seeing that,
um,
and then trying to be like passive aggressive, like, "Hey guys."
Oh yeah. No, I mean I've more just asked questions about, and actually both of you guys, but like I've asked questions more along the lines instead of he's been talking crap. I'll say that he's been talking crap.
Who, Ted?
Not me. Yeah, of course.
Thanks, Ted.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, but
He's getting into the spirit. He's getting into the spirit.
I've got a wing in my like upstairs in my studio, and like the thing was for me is I just like everybody else, like everybody's been on the X and M32s and stuff like that. But once you take yourself out of it, and there was like 3 things somebody told me about it, and then I was like, oh, this totally makes sense. It clicked with me, like the way, and it's like I without going into it, like there were a few things that someone told me to think like, and I was like, oh, this makes total sense to me. And once I got that, it made it easier. Then again, I'm also not a wanker about the wing, and so I totally get the it can be crap, and I totally get that. Like that upper right section, terrible. I get all that stuff, but for me, it was: is it a better console than a previous Behringer console? And the answer is yes. For multiple reasons.
For me is I think sonically it is a better console, but it's something that's going to make my life difficult if it's out where somebody else is going to be using it.
Well,
or it's not going to be quick for me to it's not going to be quick for me to set up, or too quick for me to set up, templates or whatever. That's fine. But like if we have if it's at like a regional festival, it's going to be a pain in my ass for the day kind of thing. When like somebody walks up and was like, "Oh, what's this?" and I have to like do the whole everything you forget it.
Right.
And like this, it's like something that's just going to make my life difficult. And
I feel like the infrastructure is not there for it yet, and like the training, and I'm so there with you for that. But it was like for people who use, and
it says personal right on the gear, on the top of it says personal. So,
and I think that they made I get it, but it was like it is definitely a better console than the X and M series. It's just so different that I think they could have done a better job of implementing. Because you're right, for you, like you'll make a template or you make some scenes and whatever, and like after that it should be easier, but it still would be like, well, how do I? It's like, okay, that part I totally agree with. I figured that I don't know, it depends on how you guys work, but like, wouldn't you set up the console ahead of time? Roughly,
I work off of templates or how I live. Like on the 8 and the 10 and the 5, there's just a file in there that says Grooney default start, don't overwrite, and I have templates and backups of it. And that's if I'm mixing and I don't have a file pre-programmed, that's what I load. It's got matrices and effects and stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know some people who will who, at least from a company standpoint, if they're sending something out, like sometimes we'll get like an input list or whatever and do it for them. I don't know that that's everybody.
Yeah, I mean, that happens sometimes, not all the time. There's not often, like we have a small shop. It's not always practical to tip the console every time it's going out and load a file into or make something.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I completely agree. So I'm with you. It is, but I think it's on both sides. I think some people praise it too much. I think some people hate on it too much. There is a side to it that's good.
Right. I mean, it works. It turns on. We didn't have it crash, so that's good. So you can't fault them for that. But I think there's people that like got to be like, this is the underdog. Like they made a console that has all the big boy features, but it's for us, the not big boys, and then somebody's attacking that, and that's not good. Like I see where they're coming from on that.
Yeah.
That mindset.
Well, and it's like I think that there was for me, I had a problem with like the Allen and Heath conversation where like people were like, well, there's the Allen and Heath like Avantis or whatever. I was like, that's $5,000 more. It's a $5,000 like it's not even remotely in the same. It's like saying like, I don't know, I can't even think of something right now. But like when you talk about cars, you have like a Ford Focus and you have like a Ford
It's a good way to
truck,
put it.
and it's
Good way to
like
put it.
it's the same company, but they're like driving a truck is very different than driving a Ford Focus.
Right.
You know, I think it is anyway. But like parking is different, like the way all of it.
Right.
You know, there's
right.
some more features on the truck. You can haul stuff. You know, other things like that. But it's like they don't even compare. They're totally different and way in totally two different like streams of like financially anyway. And so
Yeah.
and I just was that frustrated me. I was just like, don't stop.
I want to dive down this again real quick. There's just, and I know there's people that love Alan Heath that are super into it. And again, great for them. There's just something like, I'm not a fan of working on them. And there's just like, even the way they look and like the letters and they're just, there's something
They're
that does not,
I hate their
that does not appeal to me. The whole way, like the D Live interface.
Arnold's getting triggered.
Not, it's like, it just, like when I had his D Live doing this show, and I like just for the life of me could not remember how to get to the routing page to look at where the outputs were patched.
Yeah, we all.
And I was like
get
staring
along.
at that, and like the house guy was looking at him, like I don't remember, like,
Yeah.
and I was like pushing all the buttons, and finally I found it after pushing all the buttons.
Mhm.
But you know,
I heard the Avantis is supposed to be better, which I haven't seen it, so I have no idea. But like I'm also not a total hater of Alan Heath, but it's not my first choice. Like I wouldn't go there first because like I don't know. I think there, and we could probably get into this conversation. People are pretty crazy about the 96K conversation at the price point, and I'm for 96K. Don't get me wrong.
yeah.
It just is like it's become like people will say, okay, like what's the difference in these things, and they'll be like, and I've every single time with Alan Heath, it's like they'll say two things, and it's like amount of inputs and 96K, and I'm like, that's half the other consoles in that price range can do all that. So
Right.
like I don't get it at that point.
I
Yeah,
get
Greg,
that.
Why are you picking this car over the other car? Well, this car has a windshield.
Yeah, it's got a Bose sound system.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like good vibes, fair enough.
It's funny. Kale brought up like the car analogy. We could have a little fun with that. Grudy, you did that on one of the Instagrams, like consoles. You said the Avid was what was the Avid? Cadillac?
No, I never would have said
Console.
Cadillac.
You don't like Avid stuff?
I do.
Fair enough.
The SXL Surface
Oh, dude.
confuses me.
Yeah.
It's just that there's like so much and everything is so little. And we've had them; they freeze all the time. Every Surface we've rented
really?
is frozen. Actually,
Yeah, I've never had that.
It's really cool. I am so into group to group busing that for me, and there's other things. I mean, there's lots and lots of stuff I like about Digico, but for me, it's like the kicker of it all is that it gives me that really cool feature that I can set stuff up and have handles that are more than just VCA stuff. I forget where I was going with this, but yeah, Avid. I mean,
That's
profile was profile dominated for years, and it still is like a player. And SXL is cool. I haven't mixed on it per se, but people say it sounds great, so I'm sure it's cool. It's not my first choice, but it's on my rider.
Someday, if you get a chance to pop on that SXL, even if it's like the 24C or whatever, like I think you'd probably be pleasantly surprised. One thing that I love about it is I know this is such a silly thing, but like both screens, like the external one and the one on board, but the metering to me is a big deal. Like good metering to me is like massive, and the metering on those are amazing, and the faders feel great, and they sound awesome. But I can that's why the smaller one, the 24C, once you get because there's not as much happening on the Surface. It's like the screen, the knobs here, and it's easier to work with. And then once you move to the bigger one, I'd say it's similar to like going to something that's like the SD9 and then you're jumping to an SD5. You're like, There's a lot more happening on a 5 or a 12 or whatever than there is on the 9. But like once you kind of figure that out on a smaller scale, you can.
Yeah. I actually almost always move away from the default Digico meter ballistics, and I agree. I always speed up the attack on it because I was doing this today. I have the Gus Ableton session. I've been breaking out some more of the stuff, and everything was just panned hard left and right on all the tracks. I'm like, nope, we're not doing that anymore. And so I had the click coming through the console as well, and like you don't see it on the meter because the attack is too slow on it.
Oh yeah.
I always make a habit of making that like all the way fast, and I make the release a little bit faster too, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um,
I had
metering
is
go ahead. Yeah.
I had a guy the other day who was like, he was talking about an install situation. He was like, yeah, we wanted the Midas Pro consoles, which by the way, I love the way they sound.
Yeah.
I use those on like in a monitor setup as well with a different band, and like they sound great. Getting used to it was the like learning curve. Like years ago, it was just like I wanted to blow my brains out. But once I got it, I was like, okay, this makes sense, especially the routing. But like he was like, yeah, I wanted the pro consoles or whatever. He was like, they were gonna give me some like Digico or something, and I was like, why do you say it like that? That's like the most toured console
Right.
on the planet, and you say it as if that would have been a bad choice. And
Right.
so like I did look at him, and I was like, we got into a conversation, and I was like, you know that's a great console as well, right? Like
Right.
Midas the Pro 2 is great, and you made a good choice for 2013 because that's when they
Right.
had it installed. But I was like, Digico wouldn't have been a bad option at all.
I understand why people feel intimidated by them because it lets you do a lot.
Yeah.
And if you don't like
Save yourself from yourself.
Yeah, I feel like that's exactly what it is. Like I don't want to call it Pro Tools of it, but it's like Pro Tools. You can do whatever you want with it. And if you're not, don't have a clear state of mind and knowing not to get too wrapped up in that, then yeah, you can screw yourself and get confused. Or
I don't remember the artist we did, but like when we did those country shows in South Jersey for every Wednesday for years, was that before your time, Groening? When we did those country shows?
Yeah. At Jenks?
Yeah, and like these artists would come in, and these country guys would be coming in with Digicos. This is like 6 years ago. We're like, what's that? Like, and they would warn us. They'd be like, dude, these things, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. And we had our like Avids and stuff. And they were right. Digico did become the thing.
Dude, I will say the SC48 and the profiles and stuff.
Oh, come on. Classic.
I mixed on them for a while. At least
they are the XL4s of 2010.
Dude, they I mean,
profile won't die, dude.
Dude, they killed. I mean, I've seen some profiles that have gone through some hell, dude, and they just keep on kicking, and they sound great. I mean,
they don't all keep kicking is the thing, but
you're right. But I just mean like the ones that I've seen that have been just absolutely ravished. I was like, yo, this thing needs to get replaced or thrown out, and they're like, good and faithful, and we own it. I'm like, oh, I see. Like,
there's a venue in Baltimore. Have you been through Ram's Head Live?
I don't think so.
It's a cool. It's like horseshoe shaped, actually, but like reverse horseshoe shaped. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And they have I forget. I think it's 88s, but they have two SC48s there, and both of them make the most noise I've ever heard out of a console that isn't making signal.
Dude, that's how I felt about at Baby's All Right. Have you been there?
Where's that one?
That's up towards you guys, I think, too. Baby's All Right. That's in Brooklyn. I'm sorry.
Oh,
that one. They've got like a Meyer PA and a SC48 in this. Like, I mean, they've only got to be 10-foot ceilings. Like, they might even be lower than that.
I don't think I've been in there.
Okay, tiny room. Look it up. You'll see pictures of it. But it's like that SC48. I was like, yo, this thing is kind of noisy, bro.
Yeah, we just
I did button, Ted.
Yeah, I think I just did a Arno, where did I do the gig for you? Rough Trade. That was a cool little spot in Brooklyn.
Oh yeah, that's hip, dude.
That's
hip.
Steve does look.
Where's Rough Trade?
Rough Trade is in.
Is that in Brooklyn?
It's in Brooklyn. Was it in Greenpoint?
Is that the record
or
store?
Williams?
Yeah, it is a record store. Yeah, it's a record store. And there's like in the back room, like you go through the record store and through these like kitchen doors, and then there's like this little venue with like a D&B rig and a Pro 2.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dude, I want to hear some more like lighting video disasters. Those were interesting to hear you guys talk about.
In the meantime, I want to catch up on some of these comments. I got Georgie Thompson saying, would you say that the M32 is relevant now that the wing is out? I think yes, it'll stay relevant for a while.
Yeah. I think so.
Same with the X32. I don't think one's going to phase out the other anytime soon.
I think it was the whole point. That's why they made it so different. It wasn't supposed to be the replacement, even though people thought that. But
Here's one for you, Gurney.
Yeah.
What about the Waves LV1? Would you guys recommend
Ooh,
it? You toured with it.
I
Love and
did.
hate relationship.
I did. Well, I don't hate the LV1. I hated the IO I had with it.
yeah,
The Tactus is not recommended by Grooney.
Mm.
So the LV1 itself, the reason I'm moving away from it is because you can't. I didn't want to get a fader bank because I don't want more cases. Like the thing that's cool about it, the way I had it packaged, that it was 2 cases. So, but you can't like ride a fader and like have your finger on the vocals or on whatever. You have to like take it off. Otherwise, it like clicks and it like opens up this little square thing. Cool console. The summing sounds really good on it. Lot of features. You can connect any SoundGrid IO to it. The other reason I wanted to move away from it is we're getting up to 43 inputs now, and it's either going to be it's going to be like $3,000 to expand it, and also I don't want to do 40 inputs on what do you call it? 40 inputs on a touchscreen. But
yeah.
it's got. I mean, yeah, I think it's up with the Digicos and the Midas Pros in sound quality if you have the right front end on it.
And DJ
and, sorry, go ahead.
DJ MPX, I want to recommend that he watches one of our old videos. It's one of our highest viewed, where Grooney just dominates the LV1, dude. He's playing that thing like a piano. It's one of our highest viewed videos. Remember that?
Yo,
when you were playing those tracks?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Speaking of that, I need to send Ted. I need to send you a video of a dude doing a lighting thing. Like I don't even think I can say what he said, but it was in Austin, Texas, and we were doing this. I can't remember what venue it was in Austin, but this guy came in, some lighting dude, great lighting show. But when I stepped up into the booth, because my console was down in front of the booth, I stepped in the booth. I mean, he no joke on this console, this little lighting console was just he was.
He was going berserk.
Dude, he was like,
Yeah.
he was like. So usually, I just finger blast this thing till it looks good.
He was like Mozart. Oh, man. Beethoven. Oh,
Dude,
man.
I gotta send you the video though, because I was just like, "What is this guy doing?" I was thinking,
I've seen dudes like that. Yeah.
Aren't there presets that you could have used? It's just like, yeah, sometimes I just finger blast until it looks good.
Steve, whatever you do,
True.
don't stand up.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's turn this into a different kind of show.
Oh, man. And no one's paying for it, so you know you gotta get paid for your goods.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm gonna create my OnlyFans right now.
Yeah. But yeah, let's see. What you heard from the LV1? Yeah, the sound studio and the DigiGrid stuff is where you want to be at. I just think there's no real pro IO box for it that has like redundant ports, because redundancy doesn't exist for SoundGrid yet, and has dual power supplies and it's EtherCon and stuff. So it's you know, whatever. But like Five Finger Death Punch had one out, so that's
So did,
high profile.
What's his face?
Pitbull.
Worldwide? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Pitbull's using one.
Yeah.
I think the Wonder Years have one out.
Pooch.
Yeah.
Like if Pooch doesn't have an SD7, or a 10, or 12, he's using an LV1.
Yeah, I think you and we probably could talk about their videos. I've seen all 18 of them.
Dude,
These guys have good chemistry. I like him.
If you guys are not watching the Pooch Raybold videos, then you have wasted your entire quarantine.
Wow.
I don't know that I feel that strong about it, but fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, there's like the most recent one about renting your. I had no idea. Because I just get paid by the artist for that. Like I've never occurred to me that you rent it back to the vendor.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah, no, that was that. I think there's a few of their videos that I was like, I still watched even though I wasn't interested in that much. Like what was the one of them? It was around the how to leave a gig. It wasn't that one, but it was right in there.
That was pretty. That was there's some good stuff in there.
Oh yeah, and I watched it, but I was like that one. I was slower to watch. I went around to the other ones before I got to that one. But I love their videos because I think that they've got a lot of really good just info for people who want to know.
There's stuff too that people are talking about now that normally like in their usual waves and manufacturer videos that people wouldn't really be talking about, like the business
Yeah.
stuff, and that's been cool.
Right.
Yeah. Does somebody also? I think it was George was asking why everybody has Audio Technica headphones, and it's
Yeah.
because they're great.
You know what? I don't even like mine that much. Funny
What?
enough. It might be. I've got the M50X, but I got
Yeah.
the Bluetooth ones just
Oh,
in
never
case.
mind.
Well, but just in case I wanted to like be on a plane and have whatever. I'm good. I'm okay with wireless stuff when it makes sense. But like I usually have it cabled whenever I'm using it for anything important. These ones specifically have too much like sparkle to me that doesn't sound natural. It's not like good sparkle though. Like it's like I can tell it's like it almost sounds hissy to me. And I was just like, man, I feel like they need to be more balanced. But
I've heard ones like if you go to the Guitar Center and you like they have those headphones up there with the demo, they don't sound any. I had my first set for like 6 years, and then they fell at a gig and they broke and they would only do that. It was like that, and it wouldn't sit right. So I went out the next day and bought another set, and I was like, oh, I wonder what it sounds like on there, and it sounds completely different than what I know. M50X is sounding. I wonder if maybe there's something in the driver. Maybe there's like a high frequency comp thing that's built into the because it's supposed to be wireless.
There's a
something.
tiny little outboard EQ if you open up the plastic. You just gotta take that last one down.
So I don't know if there's anything about that.
Where's my knife at? I can just
yeah. But yeah, I mean, maybe there's like a comp filter that's in the Bluetooth versions or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I like
because mine are very there's not a lot of
and that's
sparkle
what I
in
was
them.
looking for. Is I was like, but when I listen to these, like everything underneath that, it was like, oh, this sounds great. The low end, like the mids, high mids, like all of it sounds great. It was up there in that sizzle. I'm like, man, I don't. Even though I love clarity and sparkle, I was like, I can tell this is manufactured. It's like it's the same thing as if you had like a PA and you were just like on like the 10K and up, and you just just rolled it all up on a shelf. It feels like that.
See if I can, because I just again tuned my near fields, and it took a lot because they're like I bought these things from onstage stands, and they're like, well, I have the mic stands, and then I have there's these little platforms you can buy that screw into a mic stand, so I'd have my studio monitors on them, so I can have them in front of the console, and so there's no coupling or anything, so they're like super. I'll have to show you guys my Smart Trace.
What kind of near field are you using?
They are LSR 305s.
That's what I have. Yeah, I got the same ones.
And I go back and forth on hating them and loving them.
Dude, you know what you need? I know this sounds crazy. What you need to check out is the new Aria Pros by RCF.
Oh,
there's
are they near fields?
Yeah, there's the old version, and then there's a new version. They have them in 4, 5, and 6 or 5, 6, and 8 inch or something like that. And
okay.
So they just came out, and they sound great. I was like super impressed. So
it's RCF. Like I have beef because I've had their products like not turn on before. I don't know about you, like the TT stuff I've had not turn on, and I've had some HDL stuff like turn off during the middle of a show, like the caps got rattled out of spot and stuff.
I haven't had any of that yet.
Actually, that's another good sound disaster story I had. It was they used to do I don't know, I think they still make them, this column speaker. It was like 3 10s and then a horn, that, and then over a double 18 aside. And then at one point during the show, the right side of the PA just stopped making noise, and then later the guy who owned them opened it, and it turns out the sub just rattled a cap out of the power amp module. So they are definitely Italian.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it hasn't, but everything I've used, their newest whatever, has been great. Their TTL 6s I've never had an issue with, but you can only use those as like front fills anyway. So
are those like the little 6-inch deals?
We're gonna take over. I'll be right back for a second.
Yeah. Well, actually, here I'm gonna share my. Nope, I guess I'm not gonna share my screen. Is this my EQ? Oh God, this looks a lot worse than I remember it being. Why did I think this was okay?
Steve, do you do lighting?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm a lighting nerd in only the way that I wish I could do it well. But
yeah, me too, kind of.
My buddy is like a wicked lighting guy, and every time I piss him off because I ask him so many questions. I'm like, okay, so I have a lighting question. Like this, and he's like, walk away from me now. And I'm like, well, I'm just curious. I want to be a good lighting guy one day. And he's like, really? I was like, no, that's a lie.
Yeah, I had a couple of people calling me like when quarantine first started, because like before it got really bad, a lot of venues, especially out in the Midwest, I felt like started going into like upgrade mode and update everything and like pull the truss down and redo all the lights. So I was getting a lot of calls about like like
Mhm.
buying consoles and what consoles and how to get a front of house run and like talking them through like
Yeah.
ArtNet
Oh,
and
here
stuff
it
like
is.
that.
Yeah, when Ted
And
gets
then
back,
they
I'll
Yeah.
ran out of money.
share what I ended up with here. But it took a lot of work in the low mid to get them to behave,
Oh yeah.
and they're still kind of iffy.
Yeah. Yeah,
But it's
dude.
better than what it was.
Yeah, they're like 160 on in my room specifically is pretty terrible.
It's not even that. There's just, I mean, it is because I had to download for whatever reason. My version of 7 was acting weird, and so I have like the Lake, and I would do a boost in Lake controller, and I would see it happen an octave up in Smart. I'm like, what is happening, right? And
Mhm.
then I took a line out of the Lake, I put it in and this into the interface, and the same thing was happening.
Oh wow.
And so I was like, there's no way this is my Lake. Like, I know what 500 sounds like. It's boosting 500.
Right.
Why? And so I downloaded a demo of 8, and it was fine again. So I don't know. So I have this 8 right now. It's actually pretty cool. I just don't want to spend $1,000 on it.
Oh, totally.
And
You're
it won't.
getting-
My license is not eligible to upgrade. Smart has decided for me. So,
Steve, you're getting called out here by Arno.
No, what is he saying? I can't see anything because
He
I got
said,
a new computer and it doesn't have a camera on it. So
no. He said, Steve, what happened to your live lighting shows?
uh, I had to do something that I think a lot of people that are either in my position or less fortunate than me, I had to come to the realization that like I need some sort of income to keep living where I am. So I had to start working again.
Yeah, don't we
So,
all?
still collecting me.
Yeah.
And after my tax returns are filed, I'm eligible for the stimulus check. So yeah.
Oh, there he is. Daddy T.
Yo,
Yeah. So Ted, if you want to share this real quick.
All right, I'll hold on one second. Yeah, I'll bail out while I show this. Let's see.
I don't know where he's going. Well, anyways, yeah, this is what I did. This is what I ended up with on my near fields.
Good Lord.
And it's still like pretty. This is just the right one. It's pretty flat.
Yeah.
It's not very flat, but it's pretty flat.
Right.
Put some smoothing on the base trace there. Yeah, obviously you can see that there's like something in the room there and something here.
Right.
But let me still. I did the original measurement in. Is this the original measurement? Yes. Yeah. This is the original measurement. Come on, do the thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
Here's the original measurement.
What?
And this is like head height, Audix TM1. Like I was using the SD8 as the interface. It was going sound grid into the Smart.
Gotcha.
So it was like clean, like loop back perfectly fine. So I went from that to that.
Oh.
There was a hefty
wow.
shelf happening there. I
Yeah.
did not. Again, I like you am not a big fan of too much sparkle, so I only did a little bit of a shelf here just to get it more in line.
Yeah.
And then I'd probably go back and take this out, this little 16K thing. But it's
Oh,
weird
sure.
because then left is different, like very different looking. So, well, not very different, but kind. I mean, this trend
Yeah.
still matches, but here in the low end is different.
Mhm.
I mean, well, this is actually closer to a wall. This side is closer to a wall, so I guess that adds up. So I guess it was whatever multiple of 74 hertz I was closer to a wall of.
Oh dang. Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, this is the LSR 305s with all the switches flat.
I
So-
like them though. I like them just for they're good for just easy listening. I don't
Yeah.
know that they're like the greatest. Like,
I guess Steve is bored.
No, he's back.
What's up?
yeah, we were just about to talk smack about you, dude. What the heck?
Yeah.
I couldn't hear anything when you went over there. So
Yeah, man,
But-
I apologize for the chaos. We kind of just threw this together last minute. I was like, why not just do something on a Friday night? You know, it's
Yeah.
Memorial Day
Yeah,
weekend.
and then just ask some random viewer to hop on for no reason.
He was in
I
there.
think this is Ted's been talking about having you on for a while though, so this has been cool.
Yeah, it'd be good. I think it'd be good.
Yeah, no.
What was I about to say? I don't know about you
Oh,
guys,
God.
but we've been trying to do some different stuff from food wise. We had an absolute disaster last night, but
What'd you say, food wise?
yeah, we've been trying new foods. We tried to grill fry fish last night, and then had to throw it all out. So there was also a
Rooney.
small fire. No, I'm serious. Like it just got ruined. So yeah,
Well, dude, Ted's trying to throw me at K to try to. I'm a little scared after watching all these videos.
Nah,
think
K's
Ted-
harmless.
Oh, with K, yeah, I dropped out for a second. Yeah,
K's down. K's down. He was supposed to be here. He said he was going to join tonight, but you took K's spot.
he's
You
sleeping.
never-
Sleeping.
Oh, dude, I bet he's. Well, that's what happens when you're building an entire skate park in your backyard.
Right.
Oh, man, that's
In charge
Rudy, you
of
never,
He
You
can
never
charge
back there,
admission
right?
now, and that'll be his new income.
Dang.
Grooney, you never been back there, have you?
I have not. I saw him recently though, because my brother was fixing his phone, so I grabbed that from him, but that was at the Sheep. So
Fixing his phone.
yeah, my brother fixes phones, and
This
his
thing
got
stinks.
smashed.
Oh yeah, he
Now I can't hear you.
Steve, you might as well just.
I'm gonna.
Oh wait,
Alright.
Ankit had the same thing.
I can't
All
hear
right.
it, so I just wanted
All
to
right.
say
See you
goodbye,
later,
everybody.
Steve. We'll be closing up soon.
Later.
Later, Stevie.
I'll be on at some point.
Steve using his
All right,
phone
man.
tonight? I guess so.
Later.
Yeah.
Later.
I throw up Ankit's comment.
Yeah, I know. I just saw it.
About,
Did a show at Harrods, and the right thing had 6 boxes that were off to do the same thing. Ant module rattled in the stage.
yeah.
Oh,
This yeah. So that's my
I-
that's
I
like my
have
only
never
thing with
had it.
RCF.
I've never had it.
The
Maybe I haven't
HDL20s
done enough.
kind of get annoying to hang if you have a lot of them and you have to like pick them all up. But
Have you heard the Rig, the DV Tech stuff?
I have never seen a DB Technologies product in person.
Oh, really, dude? I ran on that Rig, and the rigging is awesome, and it sounds. I think it sounds great.
I've heard good stuff about it.
It's. I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, it probably if you're going into like arena style or anything like that. Like, obviously, there's other choices at that point. But if you were trying to get like 6 boxes aside, 8 boxes aside for something, like if it was an outdoor festival or some like whatever, they did awesome inside and outside for us. They were great.
That's cool. That's good to know. I feel like that's not like a really rider. How friendly of a rider
Totally.
brand is that though?
I
And that's kind of like all that really matters when you're like buying a product is like, can I sell this to a client?
right.
Speaking of riders, Grooney, the one I'm working on, the Sound Shop Rewind, I was watching some of the older episodes. You have that ridiculous rider request about
What
the
ridiculous
tall-
rider request?
No tall security guards in front of house.
No, in front of the downstage. No tall security guards downstage center.
So like I have like an overlay of Shaq ready, like for when I edit it. It'd be
I
hilarious.
hate that when it's like, especially if it's like a lower deck, right? And the person who wants to be at that show most is the person standing right in the center, front row against the barricade. And who's in her way? I say her or his way of seeing the person that she's waited out in line for in the rain to see for. The giant yellow shirt right in her field of view. She's got to look through this gigantic guy to see him.
Only Grooney.
And so actually Gus had like brought that up to me too. But I know from like Starland, like where the deck is like 2 feet off the ground. That's
It's
and there's always a
because-
guy
it's because-
standing right in the center.
It's because Grooney's a man of the people.
Yeah, he is.
See, he's a man
I
because
am.
he knows that he would be the person down there if it's his favorite band.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Kale,
I mean-
did you ever run through Starland Ballroom or no? In Jersey?
We didn't.
Oh, wow.
That was I don't remember. I don't think so. I was thinking of something else, but
Yeah, it's like
we
out
went
in the
through
middle of
a ballroom,
nowhere.
But I don't think we went there. No, well, that's fun. Yeah, I agree. I think that's security guards can be like your best friend or your worst nightmare for sure.
It's not that I didn't say no big security guards. I just no security blocking the money guy.
Downstage center, yeah.
Right. Just
yeah,
he can
for
be.
sure.
They can be off center. Just please do not block the person who wants to be there most view.
It also just looks awkward when you have a dude whose head is like at the dude on stage's knee, and it's just
Right.
like something's happening here, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man. But
And then there's also the contrast of that when they're not paying attention at all, and then there's just people jumping on stage. Had that happen too.
Yeah, for sure.
fact,
Well, once you get into those pop punk shows, they just do that.
Oh no, this was at like the the Yost Theater in Santa Ana.
Oh yeah, totally.
You know that place?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, the security there was awful. Actually, like there was just some dude got into the green room, like, and he was like pretending to be a runner, and then we found out he had no association with the venue. He just like walked in there holding a bag of pizzas, and then walked right out, and we were like, "Who's that guy?"
Dude, Santa Ana, bro. We were unloading our truck, and we had a dude, our hands for that day were all from like the local county prison or whatever.
Wait, was this at the Yost?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And dude, the lighting guy, our lighting guy he was somebody different than we normally use. And we knew him, but he was just someone different. And he flipped a lid, and these dudes have like face tats and are like massive.
Yeah.
And he literally stands up in the back of the truck and he goes, stop. He goes, you can't be an idiot when you're unloading this truck. And he's just like, get off, get down. Standing on this semi truck, looking down at these people. And one dude, this guy was about to kill him, for sure going to kill him. But our TM stormed out there because he heard something was going on. He looked at him, he said, I'm not going to say his name, but he was like, dude, it's in your best interest to walk away right now.
I'll say.
And he goes, when you come back, you're going to apologize. And you're gonna offer to take them all to lunch. Like he was like our TM, he's from that area too. Like he grew up in Orange County and stuff like that. And he still lives there. And he was like, this guy was about to. He literally, the dude who was gonna kill him he goes, excuse me, who are you calling an idiot? And that's when he came in, and it was like, and this guy is like some skinny nothing dude who would have just gotten mauled by any one of them. But we're like, dude, what are you doing? You can't stand over people who are helping you load and unload a show, and they're all from the county prison and have face tats.
Right.
Like, bro, what are you doing?
Kay and I have some crazy stories similar to that, where like I can't say, but where we heard like, dude, you got to back up, or you're gonna wind up in the back of a van.
Right.
It's like, all right.
I did a show in Philly one time at a park in North Philly. And I forget, like just some guy there, one of the organizers was like, "Oh, hey, by the way, you should be out of here by 11." We're like, "Why?" He's like, "You're probably gonna get shot if you're here after 11. So just throw." He's like, just throw the cables in the trunk. Just wrap them later." We're like, "Okay."
He's like, yeah, it's just pick them up. Don't even detach them from the mics. Just bring it all and just throw it in there. What do you mean it's not worth our life?
Up the street from the Yost, if you're like facing out from where you load in, to the right and like 200 feet up, there is an amazing taco truck. Do you know that what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Like I said, our TM, he lives in Santa Ana. So like totally. He was like best tacos you ever had.
I got a carnitas quesadilla, and I dream about that still. And I had it at like midnight, and it was so great.
That sounds a little dirty. We're talking about tacos, so it's getting weird.
But on that note, Grooney, I think we're gonna wrap up. We
can hold on for another
75 minutes.
Give me another 5 minutes.
Grooney and Cal Conrad hitting it off. I like him.
It's fun,
but it's getting late.
Let's roll. Let's get. What's going on here with the SRXs?
Rudy does that to me every show too. Every show when I say, oh, we're gonna close it out. 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes, and it's like another hour.
It's like Dad.
Yeah.
Dad.
I'm so jealous when I watch these like other like people doing shows. I'm like, how do they keep it so quick? They're like way more organized.
So they're
but
like,
it's
well,
all-
I don't want to get this to go too long. And I'm like, but you just started talking about what I was interested in.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you want to see?
What's going on with the crown stuff here? iTech 9000 on SRX 828 overkill. I believe probably. I mean, I just do a 12K honestly, and then it's
Yeah, no, I
whatever.
think yeah.
Whatever.
Right.
Power to peak. I think that's like
Which I think is what it
adage, right?
said.
Yeah, power to the peak
Yeah.
power, not to RMS. Because if your amp's max power is only the RMS of the driver, then you're clipping your amp trying to just get the RMS of your speaker. So
Right.
definitely power to peak.
Then
I don't know if the iTechs have settings for the SRX stuff.
They do.
Yeah,
Yeah, they've
performance.
added-
Do they? All right,
yeah,
sweet.
they've got
Yeah.
presets in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was kind of like a thing when they were coming out with the iTechs too. Is like they did have them for all like the bigger at the time, the bigger boxes and stuff. And people were like, well, we want to get these. And they're like, cool, give us 15 minutes, we'll make some presets or whatever it was,
Yeah, it's just like one filter and a limiter, and that's it.
Yeah, pretty much because they know
Groovy.
it's going to be for DJs.
In case you didn't know, Kale's a JBL guy as well. He likes JBL. He is.
Yeah. What are you saying that I don't?
No, I'm just pointing it out that we have a actual supporter, a supporter.
The V. You know what's so funny? So which ones do you work on?
I've done a lot more stuff on the VTX stuff. So
Yeah.
I like the A series. The A series has been the most recent thing I've worked on. Like the A12s, I think.
Yeah.
Is it the
We got
12s?
some.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's been the most, like in the last 6 months of work. Whenever that was is when I'd done more stuff with it. But yeah, so a lot of the VTX stuff.
Yeah. Dude, I've hung A12s by myself.
Yes.
Good luck.
No, dude, I have done it. Like
They're
I
light
did.
though. They're light.
The A12s are stuck 130 pounds.
I thought for A8s. I was thinking, no,
No,
A12s.
dude, I've done the 12s by myself. I did them at Sacred Heart. With Deanie was doing the VRX and the delays, and I had him come over and help me join the boxes, the two carts together. But that was it. I was able to do it with the pickle in one hand and do the angles with my other hand.
Dang. Yeah.
It's a great system.
And
it sounds great, yeah.
Right. I've worked on the VRXs because you have to at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point you just run into them. I've done the Vertex stuff. I've pretty much all of the succession of those boxes.
Right.
And I'm a fan when you get into like the 4886s and 89 48 stuff. I liked was pretty good.
So has to be powered right though.
100%. Like that was
Have you
kind of my big
been in the Majestic at Detroit?
Yes.
The one with the XTIs, and they're like XTI, like the old, like silver XTIs.
Yeah. You might as well just have the C series in there because it's the same.
It's a great. I mean, it's an interesting area, but it's a cool room though. Like they got good facilities. Like the shower was clean, but the rig was powered by XTIs.
The rest of the place was total shite, but the shower.
Yeah.
Killer.
What else matters? Soma in San Diego was like the worst sounding EV X-ray rig ever, but they had brand new showers.
Where at in San Diego were you?
Soma. It's like that place that's in a shopping mall. Like it's a strip mall, and the arena is next door. And there's a Target across the street. It's so great. There's a Target across the street, brand new showers and laundry. What more could you want?
Yeah,
was it
maybe
in your
Taco
Instagram stories? That was in your Instagram stories, right?
It might have been. It might have been.
STX series has big balls, though, is what someone said.
Oh, it does not. That thing was terrible.
Rooney, come on.
Do you remember that? Remember when you and I unboxed those? Those were terrible.
Oh, they were garbage.
Oh,
it was
God.
incredible.
Oh, they threw like a foot.
And then
Really?
we used them at the fair. Oh my God, it was.
And it threw a foot. It like literally 1 foot, and it was gone.
Just died.
Yeah, and
They
they were
look
up.
impressive, though. They look big when you see them. Like
It was a double 15 box.
I will say,
Yeah,
as much as the VRXs sound as much as the VRXs sound the way they do.
Like VRX. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, where's K when you need him?
When you put an iTech amp on them, that helps.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
it does definitely.
The 5000s do just fine.
Yeah,
Which
no,
one?
for sure. Like
yeah.
Danny's VRX rig with the 5000 sounded great. In fact,
Yeah,
the
for
Cooper, the first time Cooper met the band that he ended up touring with, I was mixing, and it was on Danny's VRX with iTex, and it sounded great.
Yeah,
But if they're not powered with iTex,
and that was my thing is when they put the certain like preset in there and they're all set up, I was like, okay, I can get on board with this box for the price and that everybody has them, you know what I mean, or whatever.
Yeah.
But they're definitely not my favorite box by them. I think what was the guy that they were talking about with Pooch? It was
Paul Bauman. Yeah.
Paul Bauman, and like
yeah.
I realized as well, like, and I was like, dude, you know what? I completely agree. I didn't even know that he was on a lot of that stuff, but I was like, all of those series of stuff that he touched, sounded great.
Yeah, VTX. I don't know if he touched anything in the Adamson E series. I think he did.
That's what I thought. I thought he did as well. I'm not sure.
You know what's so crazy about that box is it doesn't sound like it gets that loud, but then you like look at a meter and I'm like, oh, it is loud, but it doesn't have like any distortion in it, so it doesn't actually sound that loud. But you're like in the limiter. It's such a crazy loud box.
DBV series, super.
Rudy, check it out, dude. Dylan in the
He's
house.
Back!
Old school. Well, it's like 2 p.m. in Australia.
What part of Australia are you from, by the way? I know I've asked you before, and I've totally blanked, but I like Australia.
He's old school, dude.
I was sick when I was in Australia, though. So
Uncle Walter is from there as well.
Yeah, we got some Australians in the house.
Biggest problem with VRX is its constant curvature. Anything more than 4 boxes, you're pointing at ground and heavens.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I feel like one box, like any constant curvature, one box usually sounds good. As soon as you go to 2 boxes, it starts sounding weird.
Yeah, I think you're probably going to hate me for saying this, but I think I totally agree with you with VRX. I think the QSC stuff, KLA stuff,
is worse. Don't tell me it sounds better.
No. I'm not. I'm just saying.
My buddy has one of those, and he has great shows with it. But
I'm just saying that when you get 2 of those boxes, I don't.
The coupling is better.
Sounds worse. Yeah. The way that they have in the settings they have on the back of it too. They have the like. We have 2 boxes on here, and you can hear it change too. So, but I agree. When you get with the VRXs, when you get like more than mostly anything constant curvature, it just is like, this is getting weird, dude. Like, because you can tell it's like they didn't even think about it. They're just like, yeah, we're just gonna this whole thing, and just someone will pick it up.
But at the same time,
with the Berlins too. Like one Berlin sounded really great. It sucked that the limiters had to be turned on manually, and we didn't know that, and they just like got destroyed. They got ruined immediately, and they wouldn't even like send us drivers for them.
Oh really?
Yeah, like we couldn't get drivers for it.
Oh, they were so hard. Yeah, they were hard to get.
But anyways, yeah, one turbo sound aside, one Berlin aside sounded great, and then you add a second, like oh. Like I remember one time it was me and Phoebe at Rutgers, and hi Phoebe if you're watching, she's probably not. And I was sitting there, and it was the only time I'd ever heard like a 1/1 rig with them, and I was like, I'm hearing reverb tails like distinctly. This is cool. And then a few days later, we had like 2/2, and I'm like, oh yeah, now we're back.
Dude, that RCF rig, their 9006 subs. Have you heard those?
The 806s were the ones that shook out the
9006s, dude. 7,200 watts a box, bro. What? Those things, it's dual 18. They also do their like dual 21 as well.
Yeah.
But like the dual 18, the 9006s. Boy, we had this little rig, and I was like pretty impressed with it. We set it up on its side, pulled in on it. Did a pull in, and then did like 3 or 4 HDL 6As or whatever on top of it. And it was just a little tiny rig. It wasn't for anything big, but those subs, dude,
the subs are great. But the HDL 6s have a really cool above like 400. They were cool. And then below 400, I thought they had that plastic resonance.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And it sounded like so fake.
They're so small, Rooney. They're so small.
I want to address Dylan's thing real quick though. The D&B, the V series is a great sounding box. I like that a lot.
Agree. I saw that.
But it's a different size box though. Of course, it's easier to handle. It's like this wide. You know, the A12 is. You can't see my hands. It's it's a double little double 10 box. It's like it's a clamshell double 10.
Right.
But the A12 is like a full size. I think it's like a 45-inch wide box.
Right.
So it's a different thing.
That's definitely a K special for a while.
VR
Yeah,
front fill. Yeah.
or
VRX.
don't it, or the classic front fill. We don't want to mention that one.
But the AC shit stains.
Only K would get away with that.
There,
Only K would get away with
the
that, dude.
the Dylan, he said, aren't L-Acoustics AB218s an RCF driver, dude? There's a lot of PAs that had RCF drivers in them for years.
850s.
That was another thing Pooch and those guys talked about, and it was like, yeah, I heard about that. Like, they were hot for that.
I agree with Ankit on this one, obviously.
Powered boxes are so heavy. Like
really
the full size. Like Meyer boxes are tanks.
Oh, you see the ones at the stadium?
Not the
The
Milos.
Milo,
Yeah, the Milos are
gargantuan.
enormous.
They are gargantuan, dude.
Have you been to what's that place in North Carolina that has the what was that cardioid line rate that they tried to do? The hell was it called? The something twos. Whatever, the old like the original Meyer line array. God, I forget what it was called, but it was like a double 10. It was like mica components, but it was like a cardioid box. It was like a quad 10, and it was gigantic, and it's terrible. Dude, have you ever seen, what's that guy on Facebook who he's like from France, but he's like the biggest JBL fan ever, and he always shits on every other company and like posts. I forget what his name is.
I know.
M3D, Dylan. That's it. The M3, but it was the M2Ds. Yeah.
I'm just messing.
You could have meant K or Grooney on that one, but
Yeah.
Well, I think I meant both, to be told.
I think that. Well, I mean, I'm not going to shit on other brands compared to JBL, but I think they definitely got the bad rap because they would just let anybody power their rigs with whatever. Mm-hmm. And then just people are like, oh, I can make my own crossovers. Line source theory means nothing.
Yeah, I feel like JBL to some extent was like the Behringer of stuff. Not totally.
Well,
but
because
I
forget who says because they have that consumer line too. The brand value when you consider it too is less. There's just less of a brand value because it's like a consumer line as well. I forget who said that, but I was like, yeah, kind of has something to it.
Right.
When you see it all over Target,
right? And, yeah, when when you know Jimmy, the assistant tour manager, is blasting his Bluetooth one on the bus too, and then I have to walk in and I'm like, orange again.
Yeah,
I was just trying to go to sleep while this thing was blasting.
I'm gonna pop off here. This is great. This is a blast.
Yeah, no, it's been fun.
Thanks, Conrad. We're going to wrap it up too as well. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
we'll stay in touch
next time.
Thanks everyone for watching. Have a good Memorial Day weekend and stay safe. See you next time.
Yeah.